Hey guys, it's Kay. Welcome to my soldering tutorial. Today I'm going to teach you how to do the piano circuit board. Alright, so you're going to want to take your circuit board and you're going to want to clamp it right up. Then you're going to want to take resistors 1 through 8 and put them in the slots labeled resistors 1 through 8. They're all the same resistors, so they should all be the same color. Make sure you bend the bars back so that they stay in place once you flip it upside down to solder it. Then go ahead and tin the tip of your soldering iron so that it doesn't oxidize, which keeps it working properly. Then go ahead and solder in those resistors. No, you guys don't understand. I don't have the ability to die, and I wish I did. Make sure you trim off the excess so that they don't cause bridges. Then you're going to want to take resistors R9 and R10, make sure you're using the right ones and putting them in the right space. You can use a color wheel like this, or the sheet that came with this showed which resistors were which colors. So put them in the right spots and make sure you bend the bars back so that they stay in place again. Hey guys, vote. Just vote, man. It's important for the society.
Telling us to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead and solder them in and make sure you trim the excess again. Alright, so next you're going to want to take capacitors C1 and C5 and make sure you solder them in according to the right polarity. So make sure the positive end is in the positive side of where the circuit board says positive is. It's got a little plus mark on it. Make sure you bend them back, keep it in place, solder them in, and trim the excess. Alright, so now you're going to take capacitors C2 and C3, which are these little ones. They're the same. They should have the same number on them, and you put them in the slots labeled for them. And you're going to want to do the same thing as always, bend them back and solder them up. Trim the excess and give them to your friend so she can use them as jumpers. Then you're going to want to put in the LED. Make sure you have the right polarity. LEDs have a very flat side, and so you want to line it up to the flat side on the circuit board. Solder it up and remove the excess. Alright, so next you're going to take the 8-pin IC socket and make sure you line up the notched end of it with the notched side of the board. It's a little illustration on the board. Solder it up. Make sure you bend the pins back again so it stays in place. Solder it up. And then you can go ahead and put the 555 timer IC and put it in there. Make sure the circle is on the notch side, like that. See the circle as it's getting closer to the camera? The circle, the circle. Don't be like me. Don't be a dumbass and make sure you pay attention and 2 pins don't go into the same hole, basically. Alright, so now you're going to want to take the buttons and you're going to put them all in. It doesn't matter which order they go in, they're all the same. These don't need to be bent back because they just clipped in place, so solder them in without bending them back. No need to trim any excess on these either. Then you're going to want to take this little green terminal block and put it up at the top there with the ports facing outwards. Bend them in place so that it stays put. With something this small, you might need your pliers to do it. Solder it into place. And next what we're going to do is we're going to solder on the wires for the speaker. So make sure the black wire goes on the right side of the speaker. You can tell what's the right side when the connectors are at the bottom. So the black on the right and the red on the left. Solder them in after you twist them on the spot. Trim the edges so you can put them into the port. Make sure you put them in the right ports. Red is positive, black is negative. And now you're going to want to take the switches and put them, either one, doesn't matter which goes where. They both function with the same functionality. Go ahead and solder them into place. Alright, now take the DC jack and put it in, bend the bits back so that it stays in place. Solder it in. And next you're going to want to wire up the power source. So you're going to need some helping hands for this. Clip it in place so that you can solder the wires in. Then you're going to want to screw the legs on. There's nuts and bolt things that go with it. And here you're going to want to find D1, which is a tiny little black thing. It's kind of like resistors, but not. Put it in the right spot with positive towards the line side. Solder it in, replace the excess, and then all you got to do is plug in the battery. What the fuck was that? That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. Did you fucking hear that?
Oh, you stepped on somebody's foot.
That don't sound right.
Sounds like a gremlin.
Yeah.
Okay, so hindsight, he's done, but this thing sounds like shit.
Alright, so now I'm gonna play a little something for y'all. You all ready? Here you go. Have a great day.